Hi, my name is Justin Ripley, and I'm going to discuss digital storytelling today. And along with that, I'm also going to talk about the role that historians play within um, digital storytelling and our society. So let's get started. My central question is, can you imagine what a world would look like without historians in it? How different would it be? And what what value does a historian add? So let's get started. Okay. Um, so historians are vital for understanding our past. They use sources from the past to tell stories and inform others who may be unaware of significant historical events. What do historians use? Well, Norwich University highlights that historians use a lot of different sources, primary and secondary sources, to tell stories. So they utilize books, they utilize pictures, newspaper articles, census records. They also utilize diaries and letters and poetry and so much more. There's a long list of sources that historians can utilize to tell effective stories. Without historians, those in societies risk losing understanding of the previous cultures which shaped and continue to shape our modern world. What a historian does. So I have embedded a short video here. I'm not going to play it for this audience, but you're more than welcome to watch it in your own time. Excuse me. But essentially, this video is talking about the role of a historian. What do they do? So Smith, in this video, shows that historians play an active role in creating history outside of simply teaching it or relaying history. And what I mean by creating history is that they are putting new perspectives on the field. New perspectives and interpretations of sources that are analyzed over time. Things that we once thought that occurred a certain way, new sources or new interpretations within the field can alter stories, or they can give more detail to what happened in a story. So, moving forward. Why historians matter. Why does a historian matter? What do we really use them for? What part do they play in this large story? Well, there's three main active roles that a historian plays in society. First is that historians are educators. They help educate the general public. The jobs they take on matter. I mean, they are there to help those learning. Historians help make connections, much like digital storytelling does. In fact, historians are essentially storytellers in many ways. They're there to examine sources and pull out stories within these sources to help make connections to our past and how those relate to our future. And yeah, I mean, that's a large part of what a historian does on an everyday basis. The number two, we're going to move on to without historians, many places that we enjoy going to might close down. They could face serious issues with staffing. Museums, for example, historical sites, even federally protected areas such as national parks. Now, I'm not saying that national parks would effectively close, because there's still a conservation aspect to many national parks in the country. But what I am saying is that the educational, historical experience at many national parks and museums and historical sites, without a historian present, would struggle, because essentially there's not someone there to help educate and tell the stories that need to be told. And the stories that, are lost effectively to history without professionals who are preserving this. So, The last part that a historian's role and why they matter is historians are tied to modern events along with past events. They're not immune from either one. In fact, they engage actively in both on an everyday basis. Without historians, we could lose valuable lessons in life. We could lose understanding of past cultures. Part of the job of a historian is in relaying information. I mean, they are there to examine sources and help bridge gaps of understanding between past cultures and modern cultures, and past issues and current issues, and so on and so forth. So essentially, without a historian, we're losing a lot of the cultural significance of our past, and we're losing what knowledge we have of the past with it. So, in conclusion, historians are needed to help people in modern societies form conclusions and understand complex events. Historians ultimately make connections to modern issues by revealing events from the past along with their outcomes. We talked about this with understanding like new interpretations of past events. What was once really clear may not be so clear now once we find a new source. Or what was once confusing is now better understood because of sources and historians and professionals in the field who are helping to tell stories and engage with learners in our modern world. Needless to say, without historians, our society could look quite different, not only in academics, but in the public realm. I mean, historians are present within many different areas of our society and have shaped it in very various ways. So I just want to thank you for listening to my presentation and my digital storytelling experience, and I hope that you learned a lot from this, and thank you so much. And here is also a list of my references that I used to make this digital storytelling production. So thanks so much.